Hey everybody, it's Shawn from Me on Things and Stuff. Come on in. We're going to hang out for just a little while. I got a couple announcements about the channel and about shows coming up and things like that. And I just felt like we should hang out for a little while. I'm trying out live streaming on YouTube. I do shows on Facebook, but and I upload a lot of them here on YouTube, but I'm trying out YouTube live streaming just to see if I can, dip my toe in the water and get a following over here on YouTube because I've heard good things. I've heard that if you give YouTube a fair shot, that you'll end up liking it better than Facebook. And Facebook is becoming more and more censored. Right now, I'm currently in Facebook sharing jail because I shared too much, which has got to be the dumbest thing that I have ever heard of. That has got to be the stupidest concept that exists. Facebook sharing jail. If I own a content site, a content sharing site, don't I want content? And if someone's bugging me, won't I just unfollow them? Won't I just unfriend them? Can't I handle it myself? Why does Mark Zuckerberg and the Facebook staff have to step in and handle what I see on my Facebook feed? Why do I need their help? I have a friends list. And then why do they keep you to 5,000 friends? I'm at 5,000 friends, so I'm at my cap. And it's weird because, yeah, I have 5,000 Facebook friends, but probably 3,000 have unfollowed me. They're not paying any attention to what I post. I don't know why they didn't just unfriend me. That's really rude. While we're talking about stuff that's rude, unfollowing someone on Facebook is extremely rude. Just unfriend. Leave. If you don't like it, leave. Unless you're family or close friends and you have a reason for not wanting to unfriend, unfriend. Clear that space because you only get 5,000, you know? Twitter's better in that regard because you can have more followers, but it's really hard to build a following. By the way, I'm on Twitter. That's my handle, Shawn Yankee, at Shawn Yankee. Follow me on Twitter. The link's in the description, I believe. I don't remember what I put in the description. Hopefully, I put my plugs in there. You can support our shows now. You can support me on things and stuff, and me in particular, who runs all of these shows. It's all me. I always say us like I have a mouse in my pocket. It's all me. But you can support us on Patreon now. We have a Patreon. We are official. We are now doing this professionally. That is another announcement that I've been making on recent shows. I'm giving myself a year to get this channel grown and to grow a network here. I'm reaching out to other contributors. We're going to have all kinds of shows. There's going to be a lot coming up. But currently, I do 3 shows. 4 if you count this one. This is random though. I just called this Me on Things and Stuff because that's all it is. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything. And we can talk about anything you want if you show up during the live. So comment, let me know. There's a few people here. Comment, let me know anything you want to talk about. I have some announcements, but we can get into anything. This is just a hangout. That's why I give it the random name. And that's why I named the channel what I named it. We're going to be a little bit of everything. I want to be like a central hub for entertainment. Just we might offer right-wing leaning shows. Right now I have my Daily Burn, which is left-leaning, but we may offer a right-leaning show if I find a good contributor. That's what I'm looking for, is people that want to create content for the channel and help us grow. And we're going to grow into a network, an entertainment network that you can rely on for quality shows. And we're going to start uploading more here on YouTube. But right now, my live shows come from Facebook until I get a better computer. When I get a better computer that can handle it, I'm going to do some upgrades and I'll be live streaming from Facebook and YouTube at the same time, and probably Periscope too. Uh, and I'll be exploring other options, other growth options for the shows and things to grow it out the more support we get. So support us on Patreon and support us by liking and sharing and subscribe to the channel. I am trying to get our subscribers over 1,000. We're at 870. We're so close. So share it out and share some videos and invite your friends to subscribe if you're digging our content. If you like the channel, invite people to subscribe. But coming up on some shows tomorrow, Conspiracy Theories and Chill live. We'll be interviewing Allie French. She is a co-founder of the group MMAMV. She's a medical freedom activist, and she will be talking to us about the subject of mandatory vaccines, and that will be on tomorrow night's Conspiracy Theories and Chill, live at 9 p.m. from my Facebook channel, Yankee Show. Follow my Facebook channel, Yankee Show. The link is in the comments. Follow that, and you will stay in touch with the live shows until I'm able to stream over here as well. And then I'll be able to do them in both places, and you won't have to do that. I know some of you don't like Facebook, and then you have good reason. As we talked about, I'm a little mad at Facebook right now myself. But I will be interviewing Allie tomorrow night at 9, and check that out, no matter how you feel about vaccines. You know, it's Conspiracy Theories and Chill is my conspiracy theory show, and we cover anything on there. I will cover any conspiracy at all, any subject, any topic. I don't shy away. So we're going to give Allie the floor, and we are going to let her teach us about the mandatory vaccination movement and the her efforts against it, mandatory vaccinations. So whether you stand for vaccinations or against, come tomorrow to Conspiracy Theories and Chill and hang out with us, because I always present both sides. We will get to the comments. I'm going to let Allie present her case, and then we'll all form our own opinions. And we can talk in the comment section, and I will address what you have to say. So show up and come to that show. That's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. Afterwards, I will upload it and put it here on the YouTube channel, but come live to the Facebook showing of it. I thought my cigarette went out. I don't usually smoke on live streams. I've been trying really hard not to, but for whatever reason, YouTube makes me more nervous than Facebook. I think because I can see, and I haven't grown a following yet, and I can see that there's not as many people here as usually on a Facebook feed, so it makes me nervous. And I had to start because it was 1:30 and I was halfway through a cigarette, and I was like, oh well. So I'll start with a cigarette in my mouth and I'll look really unprofessional. But I will try really hard not to do that anymore moving forward. Another episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill that will probably air not this week, but next week, next Wednesday, will be on Lucius Trust. A friend of mine that I was watching a feed of, Harsh Med, turned me on to this subject, and I am kind of embarrassed that I didn't know about it already. This is fascinating. It is a Luciferian organization that is running out of the UN. They have a huge mural in the Security Council room of the UN where world leaders meet to discuss, war and disturbances in world peace. There's a huge Luciferian mural, and we're going to cover all of that in the Lucius Trust interview and more. So check that out in an upcoming Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Another show that I have that I do on Sundays from the Yankee Show Facebook page is Yankee Show, and that's a comedy talk show, morning show style show, where we just hang out and I talk about any subject we want. I plan out some stuff, but I work off the comments. And eventually, when we get better technology and more support and stuff, I want to get where I can take phone calls during that show and have callers and have the audience be involved. I think that would be really cool. But it looks like that's good for the plugs I have coming up. The other show that I do is the Daily Burn. I do that every day from the Our Revolution War Room Facebook page. I have the link to that in the comments too. Check that out. That is political, and I used to upload it to YouTube, but I stopped uploading it because my subscribers were dropping dramatically ever since I started uploading it. Now, do you want me to keep uploading it? Let me know, because the channel is me on things and stuff. I named it that because it's a little bit of everything. We have all kinds of stuff. I used to have a rant show. I might bring that back. I used to do news. I might bring that back. We do a little bit of news on the Daily Burn. A little bit of everything. That's what this is. So that's why I named it Me on Things and Stuff. I'm going to start calling it Modus for short. And I think that's what's going to be on the logos moving forward. But we're going to get serious, and we are going to start uploading regularly to the channel. So subscribe, and you will be able to follow our content. But for now, I'm just going to hang out. I want to make something of value. Anytime I load a video, I want to give someone a reason if they click on it so they don't feel like they wasted their time. So we'll hang out for about a half hour. Let me know in the comments. There's a few people here. Let me know what you want to talk about, and we can get into it. Because like I said, this is just anything. But I'll give you a little bit of a sampling of the stuff we get into, probably on like a Yankee show. moving forward in the rest of this feed, and we're just going to talk about random stuff. I wrote down some things. One of the things I want to get into is an important life skill that they really need to teach in school, and that is how to order at a drive-through. I am amazed. I work in fast food, but I am amazed at how many people actually don't know how to order at a drive-through. It's not one or two. It's the majority. I'd say 75% of the customers that pull up to that little box have no idea what they're doing or go completely blank when they get up to it. I don't know what it does to them, or I don't know what it does to your psyche, but it does something to people and it makes them go blank. But you really need to get your shit together when you pull up to the drive-through. Because and the reason I say that is because it is a speed service. The whole process involves everyone being involved, and that includes the customer. If you pull up to the speaker and you're acting like you've never seen a McDonald's menu before, when the menu hasn't changed in years, you know exactly what we have. You pull up like you've never seen it before, and you start ordering like, hold on, let me have a second. Let me take a second real quick. What you want? You want a large fry? What you want? Chicken sandwich? Uh, no. What? Large what? Oh, okay. Let me get a quarter pounder with them cheese and uh a Big Mac. And hold up, no onions on that quarter pounder. And then let me get two Mac chickens and a couple large fries. Wait a minute, cancel that quarter pounder. Now, see, they've been making that order since you started talking. People don't realize that, but I'm going to let you in. A little behind the curtain information. They're making that order already. So they've already put the meat down for that quarter pounder. They've already started cooking it. When you change your mind, that goes in the trash. They can't serve it now. They serve those fresh. So that goes in the trash. You just cost them a quarter pounder. Not that you care, but you cost everybody those precious 30 seconds. You see what I'm saying? While you cost everybody in line behind you those precious 30 seconds. And that adds up, over the course of a drive-through line. And when that last car gets to the window and they're pissed off and they want to know, why did I have to wait so long for a damn McChicken? Well, because everybody had to pull up to the speaker and go, give me a second. I don't know what I want. What comes on a MacBird? The same thing that's been on it since it came out. You get it together. Know your menus, know your restaurants, get a plan together. When I'm in a car full of people, we figure out what we're pulling when we're pulling in. You're waiting in a line. I don't understand how you're waiting in a line and then you still get to the speaker and you're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But don't be mad at the people inside. That's the other thing. Everyone should have to work in customer service for 6 months. I really believe that that would be an important life skill to learn, to intern at a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, a gas station, a clothing store, a Walmart, anywhere, any customer service job, so that you can get a feel for one, what that job is like, and two, what it's like to be treated like a servant. Every customer feels like they're royalty when they walk into any establishment, and they will talk to you like complete garbage. Why? Why? I don't understand that. That person is just trying to help you. Now, there is bad service, and that's a completely different thing. There was a Dave Chappelle skit on the Chappelle Show. Pop copy. Did y'all ever see that? That was an hilarious skit. And that is terrible customer service. There is such a thing as poor customer service. And that's a completely different thing. But somebody that's just trying to help you, like place an order for you at a restaurant, or, help you find an item at a Walmart, take into consideration that they are overworked and underpaid. Please, please, would you take that into consideration? Fast food is not an easy job. I know it's looked down upon, but for one, you can make more money in fast food than you think. Most people don't understand that when you get into the management and the upper levels, you do a little better than you think. And even hourly employees now are getting to a better level. They're still not at a good level, but a better level than you'd think. Most people think 7.25. That's what minimum wage is here, but a lot of the places here started around 9, which isn't great. Still, it's starvation wages. We can talk about that more in a minute too, if you want. But you do better than you think, and they're not kid jobs. A lot of people say, "Oh, McDonald's, that's just a kid job," or Walmart, that's just a kid job. No, they're not jobs for kids. I work with mostly adults. There's 40 people that work at the restaurant I work at. Most of them are adults. There's only one minor in the whole place. And I can think of 10 offhand that have more than one job. So they're also hardworking people. You know, you shouldn't look down on anybody that has a job. What this shaming of people that are in lower industries or industries that you consider to be lower is ridiculous anyway. Like, you should treat everyone as equals, from the janitor to the CEO. And there's I think it's a Muhammad Ali quote that I really like, where he's talking about, if you ain't nice to the waiter, I ain't gonna trust you, because if I was in his position, you would treat me the same way. That's a great judge of character to watch how people treat service employees or waiters and things like that. When you don't think you're being watched, that's when your true personality comes out. And people, for some reason, feel like they can talk to, a waiter or someone in customer service however they want. But pay attention to that, because if you were in that same position, that is exactly how they would talk to you. So even if you're standing there and you're their friend and they're showing you respect, you have to know that if you ever found yourself in a position where you had to work that job, they would laugh at you and they would think of you as less than. Well, that's ridiculous. That person is working, that person is contributing to society. They maybe not didn't achieve what you think they should achieve, but you don't understand and you don't know their situation. There's a lot of variables that you're unaware of. So you shouldn't judge in the first place. Don't judge people to begin with, but don't look down on them either. You know, everybody is trying their best. You may have done better. You may have succeeded. You may have achieved a lot more, or whatever you gauge success by. But you don't know what that person gauges success by. Like, I work my job out of convenience. I need a job that has a flexible schedule because I do stand-up comedy and I do these shows. So I need convenience. I need the convenience of a flexible schedule. That's why I work there. And people have different reasons, but you don't know the variables. You don't know the reasons. That's why you should never judge somebody. You should never just judge somebody blindly. When you assume, I had a teacher, an algebra teacher once, and the best thing he ever taught me was that you should never assume. Because when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. And I took that to heart. I remembered that and the time he threw a backpack at someone's head. He was an awesome teacher, really was a great teacher. Those two examples probably don't show it, being how from an algebra teacher, the main thing I learned was don't assume, and don't talk back to the teacher because they may throw a backpack at your head. All these teachers aren't defenseless. They're regular people just like anybody. But how do I convince my wife to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I have been working on her for 2 weeks to see that movie, and I cannot get her to see it. I cannot get her to go see that movie, and I really want to see it. And I've tried everything. I've tried everything I know to do. I've tried selling it. I've tried selling how cool it is. I've tried everything. I can't do it. Someone help me. Someone help me with some advice on how to get her to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I want to go see it, and I could go see it myself. A lot of people would probably be like, "Well, go see it by yourself." I don't want to see it by myself. I don't like going to the movies by myself. And she's my best friend, so I want to be able to talk to my best friend about the movie after I get done watching it. So get her to go with me. Is anybody else besides me excited about this new Star Wars movie? I'm kind of ashamed that I am excited about this new Star Wars movie because of how bad the last one was. They kind of got me in the last one. They set me up in The Last Jedi. I was pissed when I left the theater. I didn't even want to admit how dissatisfied I was with the movie, but by the time I got home, I realized I may be done with Star Wars. But they got me again. They got me again. They're pulling me in with these previews. At first, when I realized they were bringing back the Emperor, I was like, oh, you can't do that. How are they going to bring back the Emperor? The Emperor's dead. And then I started hearing different theories, and I started being like, well, maybe this will be cool. So I started warming up to the idea of bringing back the Emperor, and then I saw Evil Ray. Now, I know they're just going to tease it. But Evil Ray is awesome. And I know it's just going to be like a 15-second force stream or something where she has a dream that she goes evil, but it would be awesome if Ray goes evil. I would think that would be great. As great as it is to have a cool female hero, think about the cool female anti-hero that went to the dark side or becomes a gray Jedi. That's another option. But I'm really curious as to who this Skywalker is. The title of the movie has me really curious. Rise of Skywalker. Who's the Skywalker? Because Luke died in The Last Jedi. Luke vaporized. He's one with the Force now. So is it Ben? Kylo Ren? Is Kylo Ren the Last Jedi? Does he come to the light side? Does he redeem himself in order to fight evil Rey? Is that what happens? Is he the last? Is he the Skywalker that rises? Or is Rey a Skywalker? You know what I mean? There's endless possibilities here. And then you factor in the Emperor. And this brings it back to how Rey might be a Skywalker. The Emperor, a lot of people believe, and I believe it's in Star Wars lore even, that the Emperor conceived Anakin in Shmi, in Anakin's mother. And so Anakin really was an immaculate conception conceived by the Force. Maybe he's Rey. Maybe he created Rey too. Maybe the Emperor created Rey. And that could be the connection. And that's how she's a Skywalker. Maybe she is in some way connected and she's a Skywalker somehow. And she was also created by the Emperor. I don't know. I don't know. But I know I'm excited to see it. So you got me, Lucasfilm. You got me. The change of directors had a big thing to do with it. That got me interested when they went back to J.J. Abrams. But I was still kind of hesitant because of his whole mystery box thing, which is why I'm blowing off this evil Rey and why I think it'll be a Force stream. But, you know, even with the mystery box hang up that JJ has, I think he's going to do a good job. I think that they realize that they pissed off the fans in The Last Jedi, and I think they're going to take this opportunity to really swing for the fences. At least that's what it seems like from the previews. So I'm excited about Rise of Skywalker. Let me know what you think in the comments and what you think is going to happen with the Emperor and what you think is going to happen with Rey. I'm excited to hear what you think about that stuff and if you're even excited about it, you know. But just to pull us back in and get us talking, what do you guys think about sex in the shower? I have always been against it. I don't like sex in the shower. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. It's awkward. For one, I'm a big guy, you know, and it's awkward. There's not a lot of room in the shower to begin with. And two, I like to take showers alone. And I love the female form, the naked female form. So I love any chance to look at that. So, that is a good plus of taking a dual shower, but there's not enough room, you know, and only one person can get the water at a time. Only one person can be getting the water. So one person's warm, one person's wet and uncomfortable. It's just awkward. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of sex in the shower or taking a shower together. Either way, I'm against it. I'm speaking out against it. You want to be against pineapple on pizza. I'm against sex in the shower. And I'm going to start raising awareness about this issue moving forward and seeing what I can do to get something done about this. No, I'm just kidding. But I am against it. I think my wife digs it, which makes me feel bad because I never want to take a shower together. And I always feel bad, but I think she digs it. She'll probably tell me after this video, and I'll find out. That's how I find out a lot of things, by saying something stupid and then getting it thrown back in my face. But to wrap up, I figured we'd do a half hour and we're at 25 minutes. But to wrap up, I wanted to talk a little bit, and this isn't political, this isn't my politics show, but why do people support Trump? Tell me, if you can tell me in the comments. I know a lot of the fans of the conspiracy theory stuff are right leaning. So tell me, please, why do you support Trump? I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I will not attack you. I will not judge you. I really want to know. I'm curious. I'm a curious person. I have a curious nature. And I need to know why people support Donald Trump. I can't think of a single reason. I think the man has shown you time and time again that he is nothing but a narcissist, that he's completely self involved and only cares about Trump. People actually attribute hero qualities to the man, especially the ones that are into the QAnon. As a conspiracy guy, I've met a lot of people that are into the QAnon phenomenon. If you're not familiar with what that is, QAnon is a poster to, I believe, 4chan and 8chan, which are anonymous message boards. And they believe that he is an insider in the Trump administration and that Trump is leaking information to the public. So they give Trump hero qualities and believe that Trump is attacking and taking down the deep state. So there's people that like him for that reason. And, their whole motto is trust the plan. So they ignore what he's actually doing and trust the plan and have convinced themselves that, well, whatever's happening is happening behind the scenes. Even though on the surface, he's doing the opposite of what he says. Behind the scenes, which we don't see, he's taking care of things. So just trust the plan and rest assured everything's going to be okay. So that's what that group is into. But there's also people that like him as a president. I see it all the time. I see farm boys wearing Trump hats, and I know a lot of it is for the shock value of the hat itself. And don't tell me there's no shock value to that MAGA hat. There absolutely is shock value to the MAGA hat, and you know that, and that's why you wear it. Even Kanye West knows that, and that's why he wears it. It's a conversation starter. It's an attention grabber, and that's what he wants to wear it for. It's an ugly ass hat. They're cheaply made, ugly hats. I'm sorry if you like them. They are ugly hats. Every one of them. And I've seen nice ones. What would be considered a nice MAGA hat. And they are all ugly. And they all fit weird. And they look like they're made in China. They look like cheap hats. You know? Go to a Lids and get you a quality hat and compare it to a MAGA hat. They're garbage hats. They really are terrible hats. And there's only one reason to wear them, in my opinion. But maybe you like Donald Trump. Explain it to me. I'm a curious person. I just want to understand it. Because I'm like, okay, you think he's for America. He's pro America because he's for building a wall and for, fighting immigration. But he even makes his MAGA hats in China. All his clothing is made in Mexico. His suits and ties are made in Mexico. Any businesses he's ever had used foreign labor. His resorts use illegal immigrants. He talks about it. He laughs about it. He jokes about it. And I hear people defend it. Well, he's a businessman. That's what smart business people do. No, you can have morals. There's a difference between right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Looks like I got my bit rate set too high. That's the benefit of the YouTube, by the way. It tells you things like that. It says my stream's bit rate is too high. But, um, no, it's just he doesn't show you anything. He talks like he says he's for the American people. He says he's going to bring back coal jobs. He tells you pretty much anything you want to hear, but all of his actions contradict his words, and no one seems to notice or care. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And, as you know, from the fact that I host a Bernie Sanders show, I support Bernie Sanders. And I'll explain that to you. You probably don't understand that. How can you support that socialist? How can you support socialism? How can you support gun control? Whatever your issue with Bernie is. And I understand there are reasons to have an issue with Bernie Sanders. I don't agree with everything Bernie Sanders says. But I see that he does what he says. You understand? He has a track record of doing what he says, living the role. He might be running a 40-year con, but some people think that. As crazy as that is, some people believe that Bernie Sanders is running a 40-year con and is a sheepdog for the Democratic Party and is just hustling us. Maybe, but he's been consistent for 40 years. So I'm going to put my eggs in that basket. But Trump, I don't understand this Trump worship and Trump following because he's never shown you that he's for you. He's never given you any reason to believe he's for regular common people. And that's what we are. That's the majority of us. We're the 99% are the regular common folk. He's never shown you that he cares about you. He's never given you any reason to believe he'll do anything for you. And everything he's done since in office has only benefited the 1%. What do you like about this man? What do you support about Donald Trump? Please tell me. Any Trump supporter, please tell me what you support. I don't get it. And I would love to understand it. And like I said, I'm not a triggered, snowflake liberal. I'm open minded. I just don't understand it logically. I just don't like the man based on the man, not the media making him a boogeyman, which they do. Based on Donald Trump alone, I don't like him. I just don't think he's even a good person. I think he's even a good father. I don't see any value in the man. I don't get it, you know? But then I also don't get the people that can't even say his name, or acknowledge that he's president. Not my president. If you're an American citizen, yes, he absolutely is your president. As much as I might not like that, Donald Trump is the president. And if we want to change that, we do that with our numbers and overwhelming this rigged system, because they're going to try to rig the election. They're going to try to place. They don't care if they lose to Donald Trump again. They will. They're already preparing to. Just the fact that they're trying to sell Joe Biden as a front runner proves that. Joe Biden has no support. Joe Biden's a two-time loser. He's never even been able to win a primary. Joe Biden is unelectable, and they know that. But they're selling him as their front runner because they don't care. They will lose, and they're showing us. That's what that is. That's them showing us, the progressives and independents and all the people that are going to elect Bernie Sanders. It's them showing us that they are willing to lose. They are completely ready to lose. Sorry, because both Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden are two guaranteed losers. And that's what the establishment is telling you. They're telling you, we are ready to lose to make sure you don't win. And by you, they're not talking about Bernie, they're talking about us, the people. Oh, Mr. Spink says they are definitely going to rig the election. They're going to try. They're going to try. And if we let them, that's our fault, isn't it? I mean, if we let them rig a second election in this country, they rigged an election in this country. They outright rigged an election in this country, and we allowed it. If we allow that a second time, would you have any faith in politics in this country at all? Maybe you don't. Maybe Mr. Spinks don't have any faith, but I won't. If we let that happen a second time, I won't have any faith in humanity anymore. That's a central core belief to being an American citizen, is democracy and our vote mattering and meaning something. If we let that slide, especially a second time, and I'm not just talking about Democrats, because what Mr. Spinks is talking about and what I'm talking about is they're going to rig the primary. Okay? The Democratic primary that's going on right now, that's what they're going to rig. Or they're going to try to. But we better not allow them. And when I say we, I mean everybody. Everybody should get involved and pay attention right now. This is just the primary. You can vote for Bernie Sanders as a Republican. Just change your registration to Democrat, just for the primary, and vote for Bernie. Overwhelm them. That's how we beat them. And Democrat, Republican, Green, Libertarian, Purple Party, I don't care what party you are, don't let them rig an election in this country. They did it outright, and it's proven. It's been ignored, but you can look it up. Go ahead and look through the WikiLeaks. It's all in there. And they never disputed the WikiLeaks accuracy. Julian Assange is not in prison because the WikiLeaks aren't true. He's in prison because he exposed truth about some powerful people. And it's on us to get him out of there. We can't allow that. The persecution of Julian Assange, we need to talk about that for a second. We can't allow that to go on. And that is our fight. And that's another big thing we need to realize. We got to stop waiting on heroes to save us. We have to start realizing that we do this ourselves. We have to make these changes. We have to do this. And this is our fight. There is no hero coming to save us. And that's from the guy who believes in the Bernie Sanders movement. I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. Bernie can't save us. If we don't do this, us, the American people, if we don't do this, it don't get done. It won't happen. If we don't overwhelm them, if we don't take this, You know, it won't happen. You're right. They will rig it. They definitely will. You're right. And Mr. Spink says Jerry and Elizabeth Beck proved it. They did. And they were heroes for what they did. I don't like a lot of what they did on their social media account. I don't like a lot of the slander towards Bernie. I don't like blaming Bernie. Blaming Bernie, I think, takes the responsibility off of us, and I believe the responsibility lies with us. We failed. We have to take ownership of this. That blaming Bernie shit, that's buying into the hero worship. That's thinking Bernie was going to save you. Bernie was never going to save you. He never told you he was. You know, the reason why I support Bernie is over and over and over again, he tells you, not me, you, not me, us. Every time you chant his name, nope, you guys got to do this. And that's the truth. That's why I like Bernie. I don't agree with Bernie all the time. Bernie don't always do what I want him to do even. But I agree with him telling the truth to the people and waking people up and educating people and informing people and telling you what actually works throughout history. I'm a student of history. And if you study history, when the people stand up united, they win. It's just the way it is. We didn't stand up. Enough of us didn't stand up. When I say us, I'm not talking about involved people. I'm talking about everybody, society as a whole, the grand we. We didn't do enough. We got to wake more people up. That's our job. And that's what I try to do with my conspiracy theory show and you know, even my daily burn, which I don't talk about all the realities and on that show cuz I don't want to push people away. Some people aren't ready to hear that the media is bought and completely controlled by the CIA. They're not ready to hear that. They were taken over in the 50s by the CIA. Anderson Cooper is CIA. That blue-eyed devil, that he is CIA. You can Google that. Look that up. Anderson Cooper was an intern for the CIA. And before you come at me with, oh, he's just an intern, once you're in the CIA, you're always in the CIA. And if you're an intern for the CIA, you're in the CIA. He is CIA asset. I'm 100% convinced. I'll look into it further if you want me to. I'll do a whole conspiracy theories and chill on journalists that I think are CIA assets. I think Rachel Maddow's a CIA asset as well. Pretty much anybody with a big platform on your big media is Operation Mockingbird. Thank you, Mr. Spinks. That's exactly right. Operation Mockingbird was the name of the operation. And it's all declassified. You can look this up. This is the age of information. To not know this is to be willfully ignorant. And they had to admit to doing all of this. And they admitted to Congress once they were exposed. This started in the 50s, but once they were exposed in like the 70s or 80s, they admitted everything they were doing. You think that stopped? Of course it didn't stop. Obama made it legal to use propaganda against the American people. Obama legalized that. It is legal for news networks to air government-sponsored propaganda as news. That is 100% legal. Church committee exposed CIA media infiltration. I don't know exactly what instance you're talking about, but it's been exposed over and over and over again. It's out there. There's declassified documents. You can look it up. This happens. But a lot of people aren't ready for that. So on the politics show, I don't go into that but on conspiracy theories and chill, we dive in there deep. So tune in on Wednesday nights and we get in there all the way. But this is just a random live feed. We can talk about anything you want. Mr. Spinks is being active in the comments. If you want to talk about something, let me know. Anything. Anything at all. I'm just rambling. We filled some time and we did some plugs. I got an interview coming up tomorrow on tomorrow's Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I will be interviewing Allie French from MMAMV, Millions March Against Mandatory Vaccines. She's a medical freedom activist, and she'll be on talking to us about mandatory vaccinations. So tune in, no matter how you feel about vaccines, and we will get to your comments and involve you in the discussion. But I'm going to give Allie the floor because I want to learn, you know. On Conspiracy Theories and Chill, we're always open-minded. We always look at the full picture. You know, there's no point in closing yourself off. You don't learn anything closed off in a bubble. But, Mr. Spinks, if you're still here, what church committee? The Catholic Church? What church exposed CIA media infiltration? Or was that a government committee? like infiltrating the churches. I'm not familiar with exactly what operation you're talking about there, but Operation Mockingbird's very real, and you can Google that. Go ahead and verify that for yourself. And the fact that the media is owned by 6 corporations, you can look that up for yourself too. Absolutely check that out. And it's important to start learning that kind of stuff. We all carry a computer around in our pocket. This is the age of information, and people still stay willfully ignorant. There's no reason to be ignorant anymore. Inform yourself. It is difficult. They are trying to hide the truth. They are editing the truth in real time. But seek it out. Seek it out and support it. Support independent journalists and support truth tellers and support good little independent shows when you see them. Help them grow, like us. And that's how we'll get independent and truth out there. Independent news and independent media and truth out there is by supporting it and finding it. Unfortunately, you have to find it. They suppress it. They bury us in the algorithm. Anything they don't want, anything that's not establishment approved is buried. So whatever rises to the top, whatever is getting mass media focus, always be suspicious of. Always. I'm talking about everything that gets mass media attention. If the media is pointing cameras at it, especially in mass, question it. Always. Always. The media is not our friend. They are our enemy and a weapon used against us. So always question what they're doing. Know your enemy. You can watch them. Watch them if you want, but know what they are. They are entertainment at best. Don't take anything they say to you as fact, and don't trust them. If they tell you the sky is blue and the grass is green, go outside and check for yourself. But this has been me on Things and Stuff, and we were just hanging out with the subscribers. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow to 1,000. That's my first little goal with my YouTube channel, and we're almost there. We're at 870. So please subscribe and share it out. Share the channel out and share some of our videos with people. We have a recent video on 9/11. 3 keys to 9/11 truth. That's really good. Please share that with people. And we have a new video on Plum Island and the connection between Plum Island and Lyme disease and whether or not the U.S. government created and spread Lyme disease. So check that out. Those are on the page. Those are my most recent videos. And come tomorrow to Conspiracy Theories and Chill for that interview with Ali French from MMAMV. My notes are not in front of me anymore, but come back tomorrow for that. Join my 2 pages. The links are in the description, or I'll add them to the description. They're in the comments section. But thanks for watching. This has been me on Things and Stuff. We will see you guys next time. Next time we do a live stream. I don't know when that'll be. I'm just starting out here on YouTube with live streaming, but we'll do another one soon. See you then.